My precious child, this is not a coincidence. You did not click on this by accident. You were led here. Jesus says, this is only for you. What's coming in 2 hours will change everything, but you must not share this with anyone. Open this now before the door closes. Listen carefully, because what is about to unfold in the next 2 hours is not random. It is not ordinary. It is not something you can prepare for with logic alone. Heaven has marked this moment on your timeline long before you were born. There is a door in the spirit that is slowly moving. It has been opened just enough for you to step through. But soon, it will shift. And once it shifts, the opportunity attached to it will not remain the same. Jesus is speaking directly to your situation right now. You have been asking for a sign. You have been waiting for confirmation. You have been wondering if heaven still sees you. This message is your answer. In the unseen realm, movements are happening. Alignments are shifting. Conversations about you are taking place in rooms you cannot see. Decisions are being made that involve your name. And within the next 2 hours, something will begin that sets everything into motion. But here is the instruction that may surprise you. Must not share this with anyone. Not yet. Because what is coming is sensitive. It is sacred. It is strategic. There are seasons where God tells you to testify loudly. And there are seasons where heaven whispers, guard this. This is one of those guarded moments. If you speak too soon, you may invite confusion. If you reveal too early, you may dilute the grace attached to it. Not everyone around you can carry what you are about to carry. This is only for you. Right now, Archangel Michael stands as a defender over your household. He's positioned like a warrior at the gate, ensuring that no interference blocks what Jesus is releasing. There has been resistance around your life recently. Small frustrations, delays, trained tension in conversations. That was not random. It was opposition sensing that something significant was near. But hear this clearly. The resistance did not win. The next 2 hours will mark a shift. It may come as a phone call, a message, a realization, an inner conviction so strong that you cannot ignore it. Or it may be a sudden clarity about someone in your life. Pay attention, because the door that is mentioned is not just symbolic. It represents access. Access to a new level of peace. Access to truth. Access to separation from something that has quietly drained you. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You have felt uneasy about something lately, haven't you? A situation that looks fine on the surface, but deep inside, something feels off. Jesus is about to expose what your spirit has already sensed. This is why you must open this now before the door closes. Delay is dangerous when heaven is moving. Time matters in this message. 2 hours is not about fear. It is about urgency. It is about alignment. When heaven moves, it moves with precision. And obedience within the window brings acceleration. Something had been hidden from you, not to harm you, but to prepare you. Because if you had known earlier, you would have reacted emotionally. Now you are stronger. Now you are ready. Archangel Michael has been assigned to cut cords you did not know were tied to you. Emotional cords, spiritual attachments, agreements you made in moments of weakness. Freedom is closer than you think. But here is the deeper layer. This is also a test of trust. Can you receive a word without announcing it? Can you hold a blessing without broadcasting it? Can you guard a revelation without seeking validation? What is coming will change everything, not because it is dramatic on the outside, but because it will shift your direction permanently. You have been standing at a crossroads longer than you realize. One path keeps you comfortable but stagnant. The other feels uncertain but carries divine momentum. Within 2 hours, clarity will push you toward the path you have been afraid to take. And when that moment comes, do not hesitate. Do not overthink it. Do not consult 10 opinions. Do not talk yourself out of obedience. Move. Because this door will not stay half open forever. There are people connected to your destiny who are waiting for you to step into position. They cannot find you if you remain hidden in fear. They cannot align with you if you keep shrinking. This is the hour of quiet courage. And remember, this message was not sent to the crowd. It was sent to you. If your heart is beating a little faster right now, if something inside you feels awakened, if you sense that this is strangely specific, that is because it is. Jesus is not speaking generally. He is speaking personally. And in the next 2 hours, you will understand exactly why. Beloved one, the clock has already started moving. You may not see anything unusual around you yet, but something has shifted in the spiritual atmosphere. When Jesus says what is coming in 2 hours will change everything, he is not exaggerating. He is revealing that a turning point has already begun, and you are standing inside of it. There is a reason your spirit feels alert right now. There is a reason your attention was pulled here with urgency. Heaven does not interrupt your routine without purpose. When divine timing meets human obedience, transformation accelerates. Within this short window, you are going to notice one of 3 things. Either a truth will surface, a decision will be demanded from you, or a door you thought was closed will suddenly show signs of life. It may seem small at first. It may not look dramatic. But do not underestimate quiet beginnings. Some of the biggest shifts in your life will not arrive with noise. They will arrive with clarity. Jesus is preparing you to recognize what others will overlook. That is why this message is only for you. If you shared it too soon, someone would try to rationalize it away. Someone would tell you that you are overthinking. Someone would plant doubt at the exact moment heaven is planting revelation. And that is why silence is protection. Archangel Michael is still standing guard around your environment. There has been spiritual interference attempting to distract you before this moment. Minor arguments, unexpected delays, sudden tiredness, all of it designed to keep you from being alert when the shift begins. But you are alert now. And here is what you must understand deeply. The next 2 hours are not just about what happens around you. They are about what awakens within you. A realization is coming. A realization about a person, a place, or a pattern you have tolerated for too long. You have been patient. You have been understanding. You have given second chances. But heaven is about to show you whether that patience has been wisdom or self-neglect. When the truth surfaces, do not panic. Do not react emotionally. Observe it. Receive it. Let it settle. Because this truth is not here to break you. It is here to free you. There is someone connected to your current season whose role is about to be revealed clearly. You have sensed inconsistencies. You have ignored subtle signs. But within this window of time, something undeniable will confirm what your intuition had been whispering. Jesus is not exposing this to create conflict. He is exposing it to create alignment. If someone cannot walk with you into your next level, they cannot stay in your current one either. And that realization may sting for a moment, but it will save you from a longer season of silent frustration. You must also be prepared for opportunity, because sometimes the door that closes is not the one you expected. Sometimes what changes everything is not loss but acceleration. Imagine receiving confirmation about something you prayed for months ago. Imagine clarity replacing confusion instantly. Imagine feeling peace where anxiety once lived. This is the kind of shift heaven specializes in. But hear this carefully. When it happens, do not shrink back into doubt. When confirmation arrives, accept it boldly. When direction becomes clear, step forward without apology. And if this message is resonating deeply with your spirit, take a moment right now to support this mission. Like this video so it reaches the one person who needs this warning today. Share it quietly with someone who is ready for spiritual clarity. Comment what you are sensing in your heart. Subscribe and become part of this growing movement where messages like this are released with purpose. Your engagement helps this word travel farther than you can imagine. Because what is happening here is not entertainment. It is alignment. And now listen closely. The enemy often tries to create noise right before a breakthrough. If something distracting happens within the next 2 hours, do not assume it is random. Stay centered. Stay observant. Stay grounded in peace. Archangel Michael's presence means protection is active. No plan formed against your destiny will succeed in this window. What is meant for you will not be stolen. But you must cooperate with heaven. Watch your reactions. Guard your words. Pay attention to subtle shifts in conversations. If someone says something revealing, do not interrupt it. Let them finish. If a message arrives, read it fully before responding. Wisdom in small moments determines victory in big ones. You have been asking for change. Now changes approach you. And before you scroll away or let your focus drift, understand this. What unfolds next will connect every dot you have been questioning. The clarity is closer than you think. Stay mentally present, because the next revelation will make everything make sense. Chosen one. What is unfolding now is not random movement. It is divine orchestration. You may already feel a subtle shift since you began listening. Something inside you feels more alert, more aware, almost as if your spirit has stepped into a higher level of perception. That is not imagination. That is alignment. Jesus is drawing your attention to something specific, and within this sacred window, clarity is sharpening. There is a conversation forming. It may not have happened yet, but it is close. Words are lining up. Truth is positioning itself. And when it comes, it will not be loud. It will be precise. This is why you were instructed not to share this with anyone. Some revelations lose their power when exposed too early. Seeds grow in hidden soil before they ever break the surface. If you dig them up constantly to show others, they never take root. What Jesus is planting in you right now must stay covered until it becomes strong enough to stand on its own. Within this hour, you may notice a sudden memory resurface. A past moment that once confused you will suddenly make sense. You will connect patterns you previously overlooked. The discomfort you felt around a certain person or situation will now have explanation. Do not ignore that understanding. Archangel Michael is not only defending you, he is clearing fog from your vision. Spiritual confusion has tried to cloud your discernment in recent weeks. You second-guessed yourself. You wondered if you were being too sensitive. But heaven is now affirming that your spirit was detecting something real. There is also another layer to this shift. Something that was delayed is about to accelerate. You thought it was over. You assumed the opportunity had passed. But in the spiritual realm, timing was being adjusted, not denied. What is coming will feel sudden, but it has been carefully prepared behind the scenes. Jesus is reminding you that closed doors are sometimes protective pauses. And now, A protected door is about to open with precision. When it happens, resist the urge to explain it to everyone. Not everyone needs access to your revelation. Not everyone can handle your elevation. Silence will preserve momentum. There is wisdom in quiet obedience. You have been in a season of internal stretching. You're that no one applauded. Battles no one saw. Prayers whispered at night when no one was around. And because of that unseen endurance, you are ready for what is coming. This is not about fear. It is about readiness. Within this short time frame, you will feel a decision forming in your heart. It may involve stepping away from something familiar. It may require saying no where you once said yes. Or it may demand courage in a place where you have been passive. When that conviction rises, do not suppress it. Jesus is not asking you to act recklessly. He is asking you to act faithfully. And remember, Archangel Michael stands guard not only over your safety, but over your assignment. There is purpose attached to your obedience in this moment. A chain reaction will begin the second you align with what is revealed. You will look back at this day and realize it with a pivot point. The atmosphere around your life is changing. What once drained you will lose its grip. What once confused you will become obvious. What once intimidated you will shrink in significance. This is divine repositioning. And now, seal this moment. Type "I received the revelation" in the comments if this is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 3339 has just been released over your path. As this revelation settles into your heart, understand something deeper. When heaven releases clarity, you also release its responsibility. You are being trusted with insight that others around you may not yet understand. Guard it. Protect it. Walk in it with humility. And if this message has confirmed what your spirit has been wrestling with, then act on the prompting placed before you. When you sow into the spreading of God's word, you are not supporting a channel. You are strengthening a lighthouse for souls searching in the dark. Scripture says that when you give, it will be given back to you, pressed down and overflowing. Hear that as a living promise spoken over you now. As you release Eden, I release increase. If your heart is saying, "I want to be part of this mission," then let that desire become action. Through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you place oil into the lamp that keeps this light burning. Every offering becomes a seed in the harvest of transformed lives. This is not a transaction. It is alignment. Do not hesitate when your spirit nudges you. Obedience in this hour carries weight. Those who sow into revelation will reap clarity in their own lives. Those who sustain the river will drink from it abundantly. Step into that blessing. Act now. Faithful one, something has already begun to shift in your environment, even if it looks the same on the surface. Since you heard these words, your awareness has increased. You are noticing tones in people's voices. You are sensing subtle tension or unexpected calm. That is not coincidence. When Jesus announces a turning point, your spirit is awakened to detect what your eyes alone cannot see. The 2-hour window is not just about an external event. It is about divine exposure meeting personal readiness. What is being revealed now has been present for a while, but you were not meant to act on it until this precise moment. There is a pattern breaking. For months, maybe even years, you have tolerated something that quietly drained your peace. It could be a relationship dynamic, a workplace atmosphere, or even an internal habit of self-doubt. You adapted to it. You told yourself it was manageable. But heaven never intended for you to survive what you were meant to outgrow. Jesus is gently, but firmly shifting your tolerance level. What once felt normal will now feel unacceptable. What once felt confusing will now feel obvious. But clarity is not arrogance. It is maturity. And as this clarity settles in, do not rush to confront everything immediately. Timing still matters. Discernment is still required. Archangel Michael is not only guarding you from attack, he is guiding the sequence of events so that when you move with precision. Within this atmosphere, someone may unintentionally reveal their true position in your life. Pay attention to reactions. Pay attention to consistency. Pay attention to whether actions align with words. This is not about suspicion. It is about confirmation. You ask Jesus to remove what is not meant for you. But removal sometimes begins with revelation. If a door begins to close, let it close. Do not force it open out of nostalgia. Do not beg for access where grace has expired. There are doors that close to protect your next level. And then there are doors that open quietly, almost unexpectedly. Watch for opportunity disguised as inconvenience. Sometimes what feels like disruption is actually redirection. A canceled plan could create space for a divine appointment. A delayed response could prevent a wrong attachment. A sudden idea could lead you toward alignment you never considered. Heaven's strategy rarely looks dramatic in the beginning. It often starts with a nudge. That nudge you feel right now to reconsider something you accepted as permanent. That is not random. That is instruction. You are being repositioned. There is also emotional healing occurring beneath the surface. A wound you thought was fully resolved is being addressed one final time. Not to reopen pain, but to seal it. You cannot carry unresolved hurt into the territory you are about to enter. So if a memory resurfaces, allow yourself to process it with grace. Do not suppress it. Do not dramatize it. Simply acknowledge it and release it. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your future, ensuring that what enters your life next aligns with your assignment. Not everyone can cross into the season ahead, and that realization may feel lonely for a moment. But loneliness in transition is better than compromise in stagnation. Jesus is refining your circle. He is refining your standards. He is refining your expectations. Not because you are superior, but because you are evolving. Within this unfolding shift, you may also sense an unusual calm. Even if circumstances appear uncertain, there is a steady peace beneath it. That peace is confirmation. When clarity arrives from heaven, it carries stability with it. You not let outside noise override internal peace. If someone tries to provoke you within this time frame, remain composed. The action is a trap. Observation is power. You do not need to announce what you see. You only need to adjust accordingly. And understand this clearly. What changes everything is not always an event. Sometimes it is a decision. A decision to stop explaining yourself. A decision to stop chasing approval. A decision to stop shrinking your calling to fit someone else's comfort. When that decision locks into place, everything shifts. The door mentioned earlier is symbolic of access, but it is also symbolic of authority. You are stepping into a season where you choose what enters your life. Not fear, not pressure, not manipulation. Choice is being restored to you. In the coming moments, trust your discernment. Trust the calm conviction forming inside you. Trust that Jesus would not bring you this far to abandon you now. You are not losing control. You are gaining alignment. And what is unfolding right now will make sense very soon. Steadfast soul, you are standing in the middle of a divine recalibration. Something subtle but powerful is adjusting inside you. The way you interpret silence is changing. The way you respond to uncertainty is maturing. You are no longer reacting the way you used to. That alone is proof that transformation is already in motion. When Jesus said what is coming would change everything, he was not only speaking about events around you, he was speaking about identity within you. Because once you see clearly, you cannot return to blindness. There had been a veil over a certain area of your life. Not a veil meant to deceive you, but one meant to protect you until you were strong enough to handle the truth. That protection season is ending. You are ready now. Within this sacred window, you may notice a defining moment. It might be brief. It might seem small to someone else. But for you, it will feel like a line drawn in the sand. You will realize that you deserve consistency. You will realize that you deserve honesty. You will realize that you deserve peace. And this realization will not come from pride. It will come from alignment. Archangel Michael is not only guarding you from external interference, he is reinforcing your internal boundaries. Boundaries you once hesitated to enforce are now becoming natural. You are no longer apologizing for needing clarity. You are no longer shrinking to avoid confrontation. You are standing in quiet authority. This is growth. There is also something else happening behind the scenes. A conversation about you is taking place. It may be professional. It may be personal. It may involve an opportunity you assumed had passed you by. But your name is being mentioned in a room you are not physically in. Do not let insecurity talk you out of believing that. You prayed for expansion. Expansion often begins in rooms you cannot see. Within this unfolding moment, watch for confirmation. It may come through an unexpected compliment. It may come through someone seeking your advice. It may come through a sudden shift in someone's attitude toward you. These are signals. Jesus is repositioning how others perceive you. The version of you that tolerated less is fading. The version of you that stands in confidence is emerging. But here is the critical part. Do not rush the process. There will be a temptation to act immediately once clarity settles in. To send the message. To make the announcement. To confront the situation. Pause. Let wisdom lead emotion. Not every revelation requires instant reaction. Some revelations require strategic silence. Archangel Michael's presence means timing is being guarded as much as you are. If you move too early, you may disrupt the sequence. If you move too late, you may miss momentum. That is why discernment is heightened right now. Listen more than you speak. Observe more than you explain. Within the next moments, someone may test your boundary without realizing it. This is not an attack. It is exposure. It will show you whether change is truly taking place or whether old patterns are attempting to resurface. Do not fall back into old responses. You are not who you were 6 months ago. You are not who you were last year. You have endured lessons that reshaped you. You have survived confusion that strengthened you. You have prayed through nights that matured you. And now, the fruit of that growth is appearing. There is also a release happening emotionally. A subtle detachment from something you once clung to tightly. It no longer controls your thoughts the way it used to. It no longer dictates your mood. It is freedom unfolding quietly. The door that was mentioned earlier is still present. But now you see it differently. It is not a door of fear. It is a door of choice. Will you step into alignment? Will you choose clarity over comfort? Will you trust what Jesus is revealing instead of what habit is whispering? The next decision you make will echo further than you realize. This is not about dramatic change. It is about decisive shift. You are being entrusted with insight because you are capable of handling it now. That is honor. That is elevation. If something feels like it is ending, let it end with dignity. If something feels like it is beginning, approach it with wisdom. You do not need to force anything. What is meant for you will not require you to beg. The atmosphere around your life is stabilizing. Confusion is losing its grip. Doubt is weakening. And in its place, there is quiet confidence. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being aligned. And very soon, the full picture will come into focus in a way that leaves no room for uncertainty. Courageous heart, the atmosphere around you is tightening with purpose. By now, you may have sensed that something is different. The way conversations unfold feels intentional. The way your thoughts are organizing feels sharper. It is as if confusion is being filtered out, leaving only what truly matters. This is not pressure. This is precision. Jesus is narrowing your focus. There are distractions that once consumed your emotional energy, but they no longer feel as powerful. You are seeing through exaggerations. You are recognizing manipulation faster. You are identifying patterns without needing repeated proof. The sharpened awareness is not accidental. It is preparation for a decisive shift. Within this unfolding moment, a truth is solidifying. You cannot carry everyone into your next season. That realization may bring a mix of relief and sadness. Relief because you are no longer forcing connections that exhaust you. Sadness because letting go of familiarity always feels tender. But understand this deeply. Release is not rejection. It is redirection. Archangel Michael is actively severing unseen ties that were quietly draining your strength. Some attachments were built on history, not destiny. Some agreements were made out of fear of loneliness, not alignment with purpose. Heaven is dissolving what no longer serves your calling. And here is what makes this moment powerful. You are cooperating. There was a time when you would have resisted this shift. You would have over-explained. You would have tried to fix what was never meant to be repaired. But now, you are standing still enough to let God move without interference. This is maturity. Within the next moments, you may experience a defining interaction. Someone may reveal their priorities clearly. Someone may show you through action what they value most. Observe it without emotion clouding your judgment. Clarity is a gift, even when it stings. There is also something forming professionally or practically in your life. A possibility you considered unrealistic is quietly becoming viable. An idea you dismissed as too ambitious is resurfacing with strength. That is not coincidence. Jesus is expanding your vision. But expansion requires space. And space requires removal. If something falls away now, do not panic. The removal is making room for something that matches your growth. Archangel Michael is guarding the transition so that nothing meant for you is stolen during the shift. You may feel an urge to explain yourself to someone who does not understand your new boundaries. Resist that urge. Not everyone deserves access to your reasoning. Some people are meant to see your change without being invited into its details. Silence can be strength. At the same time, you must remain attentive. The enemy often attempts to create one last distraction before breakthrough becomes visible. A sudden misunderstanding, an unnecessary argument, an emotional trigger from the past. Do not engage it. Respond calmly. Stay anchored. Choose restraint over reaction. The power in this season is not loud. It is controlled. You are being trusted with responsibility. The clarity you now carry can either be used wisely or wasted through impulsive speech. Guard it. Redact it. Let your actions speak louder than your explanations. If this message is resonating deeply, take a moment to strengthen this channel of revelation. Like this video so it continues reaching those standing at similar crossroads. Share it with someone who needs confirmation in their own hidden battle. Comment what shift you are sensing in your life. Subscribe and become part of this spiritual movement where alignment is prioritized over noise. Your engagement is not small. It pushes this message into places you may never personally see. Because what is happening here is larger than a single moment. It is momentum building across lives. And now, return your focus to what is unfolding around you. There is a calm authority growing within you. You are not reacting out of fear anymore. You are not chasing reassurance. You are evaluating from a position of strength. That shift alone changes everything. Within this tightening atmosphere, one door is quietly sealing itself. It may not slam shut. It may simply lose its appeal. What once tempted you no longer excites you. What once intimidated you no longer controls you. And just as that door seals, another one will begin to outline itself in your awareness. It will not force you. It will invite you. Pay attention to what feels peaceful, even if it feels unfamiliar. You are stepping into alignment not through drama, but through decision. Not through noise, but through discernment. The coming moments will confirm what your spirit already knows. Hold steady. What unfolds next will solidify the shift permanently. Resolute one. You are no longer standing at the edge. You are stepping across it. The shift that began subtly is now becoming undeniable. You may feel it in your chest, in your thoughts, in the way you look at certain situations. What once felt complicated is now simplifying itself. What once demanded emotional energy is losing its hold. This is not detachment born from coldness. It is clarity born from growth. Jesus is finalizing something within you. There comes a moment in every divine transition when hesitation expires. You stop negotiating with what you already know. You stop asking for repeated confirmation. You stop pretending confusion still exists. That moment is here. Within this sacred progression, a truth has settled into your spirit. You have outgrown a version of your life. Not because it was entirely wrong, but because it was temporary. Seasons are not meant to become prisons. They are meant to become platforms. You were never called to remain where you were refined. Archangel Michael stands firm at your back, ensuring that no voice of fear pulls you into regression. Because fear will attempt one final whisper that will remind you of comfort. It will exaggerate the risk. It will paint worst-case scenarios in vivid detail. But fear has lost its authority over you. You have evidence now. Evidence of your resilience. Evidence of your discernment. Evidence that when you trusted in God before, you were sustained. This next movement is not blind faith. It is informed faith. There may be a defining realization forming right now about a specific person. You may finally see their role clearly. Perhaps they were meant to teach you something, not travel with you forever. Perhaps they were assigned for a chapter, not the entire book. Understanding this does not require bitterness. It requires honesty. Release them with grace. There is also something stirring within your ambition. A dream you placed on pause is resurfacing. It feels less intimidating now. It feels possible. That is because you are no longer seeking validation before taking initiative. You are ready to act even if applause never comes. Jesus is restoring your internal authority. Authority does not mean control over others. It means responsibility over yourself. It means recognizing that you are allowed to choose environments that nourish you. You are allowed to decline invitations that drain you. You are allowed to walk away from confusion without offering endless explanation. Within this unfolding shift, pay attention to synchronicity. Small confirmations will appear. A scripture that aligns perfectly with your decision. A conversation that echoes what you were privately thinking. An unexpected sense of peace when you imagine moving forward. These are not coincidences. They are reassurance. Archangel Michael's role in this moment is both protective and directional. He is ensuring that as you step forward, interference does not derail momentum. But you must cooperate by refusing to revisit what you have already resolved. Do not reopen doors you just closed. There will be temptation to check whether something has changed, to see if someone has adjusted, to confirm if an old opportunity still exists. Resist that pull. Forward movement requires forward focus. You are not being hardened. You are being refined. The emotional turbulence that once characterized your decisions is stabilizing. You are calmer now, more strategic, less reactive. That stability is the foundation for what is coming next. And what is coming is alignment at a higher level. New conversations will begin to match your frequency. And new opportunities will reflect your growth. New connections will recognize your value without you having to prove it repeatedly. But this alignment requires courage in this present moment. Courage to accept that you are no longer available for mediocrity. Courage to believe that God's plan for you includes elevation, not endless endurance. Courage to trust that when Jesus says something will change everything, he is not exaggerating. The change may not look explosive. It may look like a calm decision, a quiet withdrawal, a simple yes to something you once feared. But that decision will alter your trajectory. You are not losing stability. You are gaining direction. And as this transition completes itself, you will notice something remarkable. The anxiety that once accompanied uncertainty will not return. Instead, there will be quiet conviction. A conviction is your confirmation. Keep walking. The next unfolding moment will solidify everything you have sensed so far. Anointed One, the line has been crossed in the spirit. What was once forming is now established. The hesitation that tried to linger has dissolved. You are no longer asking whether the shift is real. You are experiencing it. There is a firmness in your thoughts now, a steadiness in your breathing, a clarity in your reactions. This is the evidence that something irreversible has taken place within you. Jesus has completed an internal separation. You may not have physically moved yet. You may not have made a public announcement. But internally, you have already chosen. And once a decision is made in alignment with heaven, circumstances begin rearranging themselves to reflect it. This is where many people feel tempted to look back. Do not. When Lot's wife looked back, it was not curiosity that trapped her. It was attachment. And attachment to what God has released can freeze your progress. You have come too far to be immobilized by nostalgia. Archangel Michael is positioned at the boundary between your old season and your new one. He is ensuring that what belongs behind you stays behind you. But you must cooperate by refusing to emotionally revisit what you have spiritually released. There may be a final attempt from someone or something to pull your attention backward. A message that sounds familiar. A memory that feels sentimental. A sudden doubt that whispers, was it really that serious? Yes, it was. You prayed for clarity. And clarity has arrived. Trust it. Within this unfolding reality, you will notice that your standards have elevated naturally. You are not forcing change. You are embodying it. What once felt acceptable now feels misaligned. What once seemed impressive now feels ordinary. This is not judgment. It is growth. Here is also acceleration beginning quietly. Because once internal alignment locks into place, external movement follows. A conversation you were waiting on may finally happen. An opportunity that seemed stalled may suddenly move forward. A path that looked blocked may reveal an alternate route. The door that was referenced earlier is not closing to punish you. It is closing to preserve what is ahead. Some entries must seal so that higher access points can open. You are being upgraded. This upgrade requires responsibility. You cannot carry old habits into new territory. You cannot respond to elevated opportunity with outdated insecurity. The version of you stepping forward now must match the level you are entering. And you are ready. There is a quiet confidence forming in you that does not need validation. You are no longer explaining your growth. You are living it. You are no longer arguing with people who misunderstand you. You are letting your consistency speak. Archangel Michael's protection in this phase is subtle but powerful. It is not about dramatic rescue. It is about strategic positioning. You are being guided away from unseen complications. You are being directed toward environments that amplify your calling rather than suppress it. Within the next stretch of time, pay attention to divine timing. Things will not feel rushed. They will feel synchronized. The right words at the right moment. The right opportunity at the right time. The right confirmation when you least expect it. That is not luck. That is orchestration. And now, seal this elevation. Type "I step into alignment" in the comments if this confirmation has reached your spirit. Blessing code 8181 is now activated over your transition. As you step fully into this new alignment, understand that what God is doing in your life is larger than your personal comfort. This message is not just for you to hear. It is part of a river meant to reach countless others who are standing at similar thresholds. When you sow into this mission, you are pouring oil into a lamp that refuses to go out. The word declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." Hear that not as a distant scripture, but as Jesus speaking directly over your obedience right now. If your heart is saying, "I want to be part of what heaven is building here," then let that desire become action. Through super thanks, through joining as a member, or through the PayPal link placed in the description, you become a partner in carrying light into hidden places. Every seed you release becomes a harvest in someone else's breakthrough. Do not delay when your spirit is stirred. This is a prophetic moment of participation. Those who sow into revelation reap clarity in their own path. Those who sustain the fire will never lack warmth in their own season. Step into that blessing. Move when prompted. Steady warrior, you are now walking inside the decision you once feared. The internal shift has already taken root, and what you are experiencing now is the settling of it. There is less noise in your mind, less replaying of old conversations, less emotional turbulence. You are not chasing clarity anymore. You are standing in it. This is what transformation feels like when it becomes permanent. Jesus was not exaggerating when he said what is coming would change everything. The change is not chaos. It is structure. It is not confusion. It is order. Something that once felt unstable in your life is now being stabilized because you have chosen alignment over comfort. And here is the truth that may surprise you. The thing you were afraid of losing no longer holds the same weight. You imagined devastation. You anticipated regret. You feared emptiness. But instead there is space. And that space feels breathable. It feels clean. It feels like possibility. Archangel Michael has completed a major phase of spiritual defense around you. The atmosphere that once felt heavy now feels lighter. Conversations that once drained you now feel shorter and clearer. Situations that once triggered anxiety now feel manageable. This is not because circumstances suddenly became perfect. It is because your perception has shifted. You are no longer looking for approval in places that cannot provide it. You are no longer trying to rescue what God has already released. You are no longer arguing with reality. That maturity has unlocked peace. Within this stabilized environment, something new is forming. It may not be fully visible yet, but you can sense it. A new direction. A new collaboration. A new rhythm. It feels different from past opportunities because it does not come with pressure attached. Pay attention to what feels peaceful. There may be a conversation approaching that confirms your transition. Someone may acknowledge your growth. Someone may recognize your value in a way that feels validating. Receive it with humility, not surprise. You have earned this evolution through obedience. But do not allow affirmation to inflate your ego. Remain grounded. Remain watchful. Remain grateful. The enemy's tactic now is subtle. It is not attack through chaos. It is distraction through comfort. Once you begin feeling stable, there may be a temptation to coast, to pause your growth, to settle prematurely. Do not settle. This shift was not given to you so you could become complacent. It was given to you so you could advance with clarity. You may also notice that certain people are responding to you differently. Some will respect your new boundaries. Some will feel unsettled by them. Both reactions are revealing. The ones who celebrate your growth belong in your next season. The ones who resist it were comfortable with your previous limitations. Do not shrink to make others comfortable again. Archangel Michael remains positioned at your perimeter, not because you are under attack, but because you are under assignment. When purpose increases, protection intensifies. There are doors ahead that require focus. There are rooms ahead that require discernment. And you are being prepared for both. There is also personal breakthrough forming within your confidence. You are beginning to trust your instincts again. That inner voice you once doubted is becoming reliable. You are no longer seeking endless reassurance before acting. You are moving with measured certainty. That is growth at its highest level. The next stage of your journey will require initiative. Not reckless movement, but decisive steps. The hesitation that once delayed you must not return disguised as caution. Learn the difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom feels calm. Fear feels urgent and loud. Choose calm. Within the coming stretch of time, you may receive an invitation. It could be literal or symbolic. An offer. A proposal. A new responsibility. Evaluate it not from insecurity, but from alignment. Does it match who you are becoming? Does it honor the boundaries you have established? Does it align with the peace you now carry? If the answer is yes, move forward confidently. If the answer is no, decline without guilt. You are not obligated to repeat old patterns just because they are familiar. The door that closed behind you is sealed completely now. There is no need to look back. There is no need to question whether you acted too soon. Everything unfolded in divine timing, and what lies ahead will confirm that the shift was necessary. You are no longer standing at a crossroads. You are walking on a chosen path, and with every step, your footing becomes stronger. Stay steady. The next revelation will solidify your direction even further. Focused one. The atmosphere has transitioned from uncertainty to momentum. You are no longer processing the shift. You are participating in it. What once felt like a private internal adjustment is now beginning to reflect outwardly. The way you speak carries more certainty. The way you respond carries less hesitation. Even your silence holds authority. This is what happens when obedience matures into confidence. Jesus did not bring you through revelation just to leave you in contemplation. Revelation was meant to lead to action. And now, action is quietly unfolding in your daily decisions. You are choosing differently. You are prioritizing differently. You are even thinking differently. There's a strengthening in your identity that cannot be reversed. The situation that once confused you no longer has control over your emotions. The person who once triggered overthinking no longer occupies the same mental space. The opportunity that once intimidated you now feels attainable. That is transformation. Archangel Michael remains vigilant, not because chaos is surrounding you, but because elevation always requires reinforcement. As you step into new rooms and new conversations, protection travels with you. You are not walking into your next season alone. Within this phase, there may be a visible confirmation that everything has shifted, a response you were waiting on, a decision finalized, a door officially closed, a new one clearly opened. When it happens, do not downplay it. Recognize it as the fruit of alignment. But stay humble. Growth is not about proving others wrong. It is about proving yourself faithful. You may also notice that your tolerance for confusion has completely dissolved. If something feels unclear, you address it. If something feels misaligned, you step back. You are no longer tolerating gray areas where clarity is required. That is wisdom taking root. However, with this new authority comes responsibility. Do not become rigid. Do not become emotionally distant. Strength does not require hardness. You can be firm and still be compassionate. You could have boundaries and still have grace. Jesus is shaping you into someone balanced. Within the coming moments, pay attention to invitations that stretch you slightly beyond comfort. Growth will not always feel easy, but it will feel purposeful. If something challenges you while honoring your peace, consider it seriously. Your expansion will require courage. At the same time, remain alert to distractions disguised as urgency. Not every immediate request deserves your energy. Not every crisis requires your involvement. Discernment will protect your focus. If this message has been walking step by step with your reality, then engage with it intentionally. Like this video so others navigating similar turning points can receive confirmation. Share it with someone who is quietly wrestling with a decision. Comment what shift has taken place in your life. Subscribe and stand with this channel as it continues releasing messages of clarity and spiritual direction. Your interaction strengthens this mission more than you realize. And before your attention drifts, understand this: the next layer of your journey depends on sustained focus. What unfolds from here will build on the stability you have just established. Remain attentive. The clarity you have gained must now be maintained. Momentum is fragile if neglected. There may be one final test of your growth. A familiar pattern could attempt to re-enter your life. A familiar voice may attempt to re-establish connection. This is not coincidence. It is confirmation that your shift is real. Old patterns often resurface to see if access is still available. Do not grant access lightly. You have worked too hard spiritually to rebuild what God dismantled for your protection. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your new season, ensuring that what is not aligned cannot cross over without resistance. But your choices determine what stays. Choose elevation. There is also a new confidence emerging in your communication. You are expressing yourself without over-explaining. You are declining without guilt. You are accepting opportunities without self-sabotage. That is not arrogance. That is healing. The path ahead is becoming clear by the day. Not because every detail is revealed, but because your discernment is sharpened. You do not need the entire map. You need the next faithful step. And you are ready to take it. The transformation that began quietly has now established momentum. Do not slow down out of fear of visibility. Do not minimize your progress to keep others comfortable. Get walking forward. The foundation is solid. The direction is confirmed. And what is unfolding next will affirm that this entire shift was divinely timed. Determined one. You are no longer reacting to change. You are leading it. What once felt like a spiritual warning has now matured into a spiritual positioning. The urgency that marked the beginning of this message has transformed into stability. You are not rushing anymore. You are walking with intention. And that is the true evidence that everything has changed. When Jesus spoke about a door closing, it was not a threat. It was a mercy. The door represented limitation disguised as familiarity. Now that it has sealed, you can clearly see how small it truly was. What once felt like security was actually confinement. You have stepped into wider space. This wider space may feel quiet at first. Less noise. Fewer emotional swings. Fewer chaotic interactions. Do not mistake this quiet for emptiness. It is peace. It is room to build without interference. It is an environment where your thoughts can breathe and your vision can expand. Archangel Michael's role in this stage is no longer about heavy defense. It is about strategic covering. The battle intensity has decreased because the territory has shifted. You are no longer fighting to escape. You are building to establish. And building requires focus. There is a subtle temptation that can arise in seasons like this. Once clarity is achieved and stability is restored, you may feel the urge to revisit the past just to confirm you made the right choice, to check whether anything changed, to see whether you are missed, to measure your absence. Resist that urge. Validation does not come from looking backward. It comes from moving forward confidently. You may also notice that certain people are observing you more closely now. When you change, the energy around you adjusts. Some will be inspired. Some will feel challenge. Some will quietly distance themselves because your growth reflects what they are unwilling to confront in themselves. Let them choose their distance. You are not responsible for managing everyone's reaction to your obedience. Within this new positioning, something long-term is beginning to take shape. It may be a professional opportunity that carries greater responsibility. It may be a relationship forming on healthier foundations. It may be a calling you once suppressed that now feels undeniable. Do not minimize it. Jesus does not close doors without opening better ones. But better often requires maturity. And you have matured. The anxiety that once defined your decision-making process has lost its voice. You are calmer in conversations, more measured in commitments, less reactive to provocation. This is emotional authority. Archangel Michael remains attentive, ensuring that no subtle sabotage undermines what you are building. Because when progress becomes visible, distraction sometimes tries to return quietly. A sudden misunderstanding, a misinterpreted message, an old insecurity attempting to whisper again. But now you recognize it quickly. You no longer spiral. You assess. There is also strengthening of your spiritual discernment. You are not easily impressed. You are not easily manipulated. You evaluate alignment before you invest energy. That shift alone will save you from repeating past cycles. The coming days will present you with choices that reflect your elevation. They will not look like the options you once had. They will feel cleaner, more structured, more aligned with your values. Choose from that place of clarity. Do not compromise simply because something is familiar. You may also begin to sense that your influence is expanding. People are noticing your steadiness. Your perspective carries weight. Your silence commands respect. This is not about ego. It is about presence. And presence is powerful. Remember, everything began with urgency. 2 hours that would change everything. That urgency was not about fear. It was about alignment meeting readiness. And now that readiness has matured into stability, the transformation is complete. You are no longer who you were when this message began. You are clearer. You are stronger. You are more decisive. And most importantly, you are aligned. The final confirmation of this shift will come quietly. It may not be dramatic. It may simply be the realization that peace has replaced pressure, that confidence has replaced confusion, that direction has replaced doubt. When that realization settles fully, you will understand that the door did not close to trap you. It closed to propel you. Stand firm in what you have chosen. What unfolds next will not test your confusion. It will reward your clarity. Victorious one, the transformation is complete. When this message first reached you, there was urgency. There was tension. There was a sense that something critical was about to shift. Now look at where you stand. The urgency has settled into assurance. The tension has dissolved into stability. The uncertainty has transformed into direction. What was coming in 2 hours did change everything. Not through chaos, not through destruction, but through revelation. You saw clearly. You chose boldly. You aligned willingly. And that alignment altered your course. The door that was closing is now fully sealed behind you. But notice this. You are not standing in loss. You are standing in expansion. The space ahead of you is wider than the space you left behind. The peace you now carry is deeper than the comfort you once protected. Jesus was not warning you to frighten you. He was calling you to awaken you. And you responded. There is a new steadiness in your spirit. You are no longer easily shaken by emotional waves. You are no longer dependent on external validation to confirm internal decisions. You are grounded. You are clear. You are positioned. Archangel Michael's assignment over this transition hath been fulfilled in this chapter. The guarding, the cutting away, the shielding from interference. It all led you here, not into isolation, but into authority. Not into confusion, but into confidence. You have stepped into a higher level of discernment. And now, what comes next will not require emergency correction. It will require consistency. This is where many people miss their blessing. They experience breakthrough, but they failed to maintain discipline. They feel clarity, but they drift back into distraction. Do not let that be you. Protect what you have gained. Guard your peace. Honor your boundaries. Move with intention. There will be new doors ahead. Larger ones. More visible ones. Opportunities that stretch your capacity and expand your reach. But because you walk through this refinement first, you will enter those spaces prepared. You will not shrink. You will not overcompensate. You will not self-sabotage. You have grown beyond that. There may still be moments when memory tries to pull you backward, when nostalgia paints the past in softer colors than it truly was. But you now possess clarity, and clarity is stronger than illusion. Remember how it felt before this shift. Remember the confusion. Remember the weight. Remember the internal wrestling. And then look at yourself now. Peaceful. Decisive. Aligned. That is the evidence that the instruction was divine. Now seal this final confirmation. Type "I walk in divine alignment" in the comments if you receive this completion in your spirit. Blessing code 1212 is now released over your path and your next season. As this chapter closes and a new one begins, hear this clearly. What happened in your life through this message is not isolated. There are countless others standing at their own 2-hour window, unaware that clarity is within reach. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into open doors for souls who are still trapped in confusion. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy." Hear that as Jesus speaking directly to you now. Every seed you release into spreading His voice becomes light in someone else's darkness. When you say in your heart, "I want to help this message reach more lives," that desire is not random. It is divine invitation. If this word carried you through a turning point, then act on that prompting. Through super thanks, through joining as a member, or through the PayPal link in the description, you step into partnership with heaven's work here. This is not casual support. It is prophetic participation. Those who fuel the fire will never lack warmth. Those who open doors for others will see doors open in their own lives. Those who give in faith will reap in clarity. Do not delay obedience when your spirit is stirred. Strengthen the mission. Empower the message. Stand in alignment not only with your decision, but with your action. Move now.